This is my 1986 Honda 200 TRX200SX is the actual nomenclature. I think my dad bought this for me when I was 12 years old. We've had it ever since. The thing is awesome, but it's sort of returning to its original state. We bought it, cleaned the carb, and got it running, and I've been riding it ever since. But been away from home for quite a while now, and it's been soaking up all the moisture from the inside of this crappy old shed behind the barn. So I'm gonna drag it back to the new place and try and resurrect it. I think we're gonna put some new plastics on it. I recently, what did we do to it? I think I put some new brakes on it, or I bought new brakes for it a while ago. I think we pulled the carb apart, cleaned it a little bit. It wasn't too bad, surprisingly. I put a battery in it. The thing's a ton of fun, and it runs really good. Let's see if we can get it started right now. I don't think it's got enough juice. It might actually. I just dumped some gas in it. Usually it needs a little bit of throttle. Maybe it doesn't have any gas on. It says on, off. Let's try reserve, maybe. Give it some more sauce. How many mouse nests are in this air box? I think we're gonna put a seat cover on it. We'll clean these plastics up. I'm gonna order some new plastics because I painted those. I think they're actually in the barn over here somewhere, so we'll take a look. The white ones that wrap around here. And I think I'm gonna repaint the wheels to the original state and just give this thing a freshening up because it is ugly. Let's see what we got going on here though. Interesting. Shoot a little bit of go-go juice in here. Yep. Did the trick. Alright, let's drag her out of this state. We have the plastics for this, right? I think they're hanging in the barn. Do you know?
What's missing?
This center section, the part that said Honda. My plan is to get a new seat cover.
Yeah.
And then get the whatchamacallit, this plastic cover that goes on here, kind of swoops down.
Yeah.
Either that or I'll probably paint strip the one in the back and just buy decals for it. But
Yeah, be careful. The paint stripper might attack the plastic.
oh, that's fine. It works. I've done it before.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Maybe we'll get a new bumper. All right, we're finally getting moved in. I got bored and I thought I'd do a little bit of work on this quad today. Start with the easy stuff. So as you can see, I had painted this shroud that goes right up there. When I was younger, kind of blacked it out. I did some gunmetal gray wheels, and I like the factory look a lot more, probably because I'm old now. And I decided I was going to strip the paint off of this, and it works really well. So I just started that process. I got some of this goof off graffiti remover. It says not to use it on plastic, so I'm using it on plastic. I've done this before. I bought a KX250F dirt bike that someone had painted purple, and I thought, whatever, I'll get new plastics. I'm just gonna try this for shits and gigs. And it says not to use it on plastic, and it says if you're gonna do that, use it on this. But the plastics on this are pretty faded and crappy anyways, and I don't really care. I know it works. So I'm sure if you did this On some really nice plastics, you might get a different result, so I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're doing something like I am, this seems to work really well. So you just spray it on there and let it sit, and give this a shake. Stuff starts to come right off. So we got a lot more work to do. I won't bore you guys with this, but I'll show you what happens when all the crappy gunmetal gray spray paint comes off, and I got some new Honda decals to go on here. So the next scene you'll see will have that exactly. Definitely yellowed from over the years, but it'll be good. Need to wax it up, and let's get some decals on this thing. I'd say that was worth the $20 we paid. Not perfect, but way gooder. That's awesome. All right, I was just messing around with this thing. I pulled the headlight off, which is just one bolt here, another bolt here. This piece kind of pops out and off, and then you just slide the plastic shroud off the back. Probably tells you why the headlight doesn't work. I don't know much about headlights, but pretty sure it's not the way they're supposed to look. All right, well, we're waiting for parts for the old bear tracker to show up. Kind of wet and nasty out, but still pretty much snowmobile weather. So I figured might as well start ripping this thing apart, mostly because it's leaking gas all over the garage, and I don't know why. So I popped the plastics off, which for this ATV takes about 5 seconds because all all the hardware is missing and the plastics are cracked. So you can pretty much just pop them around the bolts and remove it. But there's some evidence of mice infestation, and I pulled the tank off, which is just these two 10mm bolts right here, and Phillips head screwdriver that holds this here fuel Petcock adjuster plastic thingamajig. So what I want to do now is show you guys what I've got. I just rode this thing around because it's so much goddamn fun, but this is a pile of parts. I got some brake shoes, genuine Chinese brake shoes. Put me back a grand total of about $10. I think these are wheel bearings. Yeah, do that another time. Start spraying everything with blaster now. A couple extra plugs, but this is what I'm looking for. Yet another genuine Chinese part. I should probably start leaking and I'll hate myself, but we're gonna give her a shot just for fun. So I pulled the tank off, and this looks like it resembles the same thing, which is exciting. Might not be able to use my my Petcock thing I just showed you, because it goes on that piece right there. But this thing's leaking and it pisses me off. So I just sprayed this with blaster a little while ago, but it appears to me that I need to crack that big nut loose, and all these guts might fall out, which would be super cool. So let's give that a shot. All right, so I was able to crack this loose. I don't really know what that gets us. Assuming this whole assembly threads off now. Maybe. Maybe not. Oh. Wow. Good old Hondas, man. Holy smokes. Wow. Okay. We're gonna clean this thing out. Look at that. think I had the camera sideways on that accidentally, but this is nasty. Not supposed to look like that. Holy smokes. Let's dump some of this gas into a pan and see what we got. Look at my hands just from grabbing that thing. Wow. Doesn't even look like gas. This thing sat in my dad's shed, as you saw earlier, for quite a while. All through college for me, which was 4 years, which is good, and some time in some states far away, and now we're back. But I remember when my dad got this thing. I think he was doing some work for a guy owed him some money, and I think I was 12 years old. Let's see if I can find the picture, but he settled on, basically ended up with this quad for free. The thing had 3 flat tires, and the carburetor was all gummed up, dead battery, just really rough shape. And we revived it, much like this. The tank had a whole bunch of gunk in it, and we actually ended up power washing the inside of the tank. I think we sealed it, maybe even put some rocks in there. There was so much rust and crap. But just nasty. All right, I got the old nasty gas all drained out. I left the tank off. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this crap. It's called Evapo Rust. It works really well. I used it on the Katana revival. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. Basically bought a GSX F750. It was a 1994? I can't remember. For $500, and the tank was all full of gas, all full of water and rust because the previous owner had left the gas cap exposed because he bought an Amazon gas cap and left the thing outside. Tank filled with water, rusted out the carbs, and we revived it with that stuff. It works really well. So I'm gonna go drain this crap out into a proper container, and we're gonna get this carb off, see what we got inside of that. All right, the carburetor's off. I loosened up those 2 10mm nuts right there, slid the carb back. Man, there's a lot of crap down in there. This thing needs a wash so bad. And then what else did I do? Disconnected the choke. I actually just pulled it off because the cable was shot. You can actuate it right from here. So I took this Phillips head screw out here, pulled the choke out, finagled the rest of the carb through. I actually angled it, the bottom of the carb towards me. I pulled the lid and the air box and the air filter. I pulled the air box lid off, and it made it a little bit skinnier, and then I was able to finagle it out kind of like this. But we're gonna wash all this crap. I'm gonna see if I can get this carb off and take a look at what's going on inside. So the way this Evapo Rust crap works, you're supposed to pour it in there and wait, and just kind of angle the tank around, see if it's doing anything. Look at all that. I bet it's almost clean up top. Yep, see how it's cleaning off all that crap? This is only after a couple hours. And you can reuse this stuff too. So I've already used this before on a different extravaganza. I put it back in the bottle. So, pretty cool. All right, we got a new headlight bulb. That's what the old one looked like. Not supposed to look like that. So I know what to do with that. We got a brand new one, and it came with stickers. So we'll go ahead and sauce that bad girl inside. You know what they say, no glove, no love. Moment of truth. Let's see. Bulb's in. Oops. What the heck? There we go. Whoa, this just worked 2 seconds ago. That's interesting. There we go. I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, cool. That's what we like to see. Plastics are not installed, obviously, but that's what we're talking about. Come on. Cool. A little bit of multitasking going on here. We got the EMT recert class going and about to pull this seat cover off. All right, that was only a little bit gross. Might need a tetanus shot, but we're in good shape. Let's get this new one on. All right, we got that freshie. This is all warmed up. Might actually use a heat gun or a hairdryer too. We shall see. It's shown to help when we did this with boat upholstery. I really like bringing these to upholstery shops, but I can't seem to find one in the new area we moved to. I'm just going to give this a shot myself. And it comes with some directions. So we're going to give those a little skim, a peruse. So it says, there's some big takeaways on here. I'll let you guys read with me. Creases may occur during folding and shipping of seat covers as normal. These marks are not material defects. Your cover will smooth out quickly once installed and stretched properly into place. True replacement covers, they're stapled in place. You must start at the front center and hook or staple it into place. Then stretch the cover to the back center and hook it or staple into place. Do not start the sides until the front and rear are stretched and attached into place. Otherwise, it won't work. That's a good way of putting it. The pull tab attached to the bottom of the seat cover will fold under the seat entirely when properly installed. The pull tab attached to the bottom of the seat cover will fold under the seat entirely when properly installed. Okay, cool. Well, we got a staple gun. Let's give her a shot. It's not perfect, but sure as hell ain't bad. Got a little bit of gumption over there. Definitely better than it was before. All right, that is a way better fit. We're gonna put this thing back together. Hell yeah. All right, so we got this shiesty Amazon job. So we're going to pull this thing off because the Petcock adjustment bangs into the side of the frame. So we need one that looks like a this. So let's get that thing out and we'll install this one. Looks to be a little more heavy duty, so that'll be good. All right, that thing worked pretty good. There's a filter that goes in the top. Mine's stuck in here, but it seemed to work pretty okay because the thing still ran really well and there was gunk in the tank. So I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. I left the old filter that looks like this in the tank. And I think the Petcock actually has its own filter function in the bottom right here. So that's pretty neat. And then this kit's pretty cool. I'll put a link in the description or leave a comment if I forget or something crazy. It comes with an inline fuel filter and clamps and fuel line and what appears to be a pretty nice Petcock that actually works. So pretty excited about that. This is the brand, Moto 1988. I bought some Petcocks off them for my Katana, and they work really well. So pretty excited about that, and I will use them again in the future. So let's see if this thing fits like it should. Does not appear to leak. Turned it on, gas came out. Turned it off, gas stopped. So that's pretty sweet. Let's try it out. She passed the leak test, bud. Sweet. We got way too much fuel line on here. So I'm gonna lift this tank up and probably cut this line in half. Install the fuel filter in this neck of the woods right there. And then kind of make a 90 and we'll be back in business. All right. Got this thing back together, mostly. Couldn't resist taking it for a rip. I couldn't get the... Oh, it's still high idling. What the hell? Anyways, still high idling for some reason. A little bit. Thought I just got it satisfied where it wants to be. But anyways, let's take this thing for a quick little rip. Very cool. Well, she's 99% back together. Looking pretty good. Got this beautiful snowmobile right in my way. I would call that a success. Yeah, this whole thing started out with a leak. You know, this thing would just leak gas, and it finished with it not leaking gas, and it runs about 10 times better. So I would chalk this up as a huge success. Pretty excited to be able to push this thing in the corner and fire it up when I want to. You know, there's a couple little things I like to fix. The bumper, we ended up just pulling it off. I'm not sure how these front wheel bearings, if you will, work, but there's a ton of slop between here and here, so I need to replace some parts. You can tell those bushings are just completely shot from me beating on this thing as a kid. So we'll take it for one more ride in daylight and get this video posted for you guys to see. And stay tuned for the Yamaha Bear Tracker. I'm sure there's a couple clips of this thing in the background. Almost done with that too. That thing was a pile of hunk. Still looks like it, still kind of is, but it's an absolute blast. So got a couple more finishing touches on this thing before I can call it respectably done. But yeah, we'll put some more clips in of this here TRX, and I'll pan back to what this thing looked like when we started, and you guys can admire it as much as I do. But till then, let's fire it up. Very cool. All right, maiden voyage on the old TRX. It's doing pretty good. For whatever reason, it runs a lot better. A heck of a lot better on reserve. Seems like it's still starving for fuel once you get it up in the higher RPM, cruising it down the road. But definitely chalk this up as a success. I'm really excited. Get to bomb around on the trails. The shocks on this thing are absolutely shot. The kingpins are a little worn out, so you might see a little bit more work on this thing, but I prefer to ride it, not hit the jumps twice. Once when you hit the jump, and second time when you land and it bucks you off the seat with no suspension. But thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, leave a comment, and we'll get to the next Next vehicle in line.